Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Ever tried reading while jogging, cooking, or even juggling flaming torches? Yeah, it doesn't end well. But with audiobooks.com, you can conquer books without the circus act. Dive into over 450,000 titles, including more than 10,000 free ones. Get hooked on a bestseller, find your next obsession, or finally read that classic you've been avoiding since high school. And here's the inside scoop. Sign up today for a free 30-day trial and snag your first 3 audiobooks on the house. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
Okay, this is a 30-second commercial, and I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you, but please stay with me. In just 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. This company has been offering great rates and great service for over 75 years, and anytime you need help, you can speak to one of their trained specialists 24/7. That company is Geico. Go to geico.com today. Sorry for all the numbers, and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm out of time.
Now, Podcast One brings you Spike's Car Radio, a downloadable cars and coffee, hosted by writer, comedian, and automotive enthusiast Spike Ferriston. Now, here's Spike.
We don't get to.
I know how to talk.
Zuckerman, what are you? You're a nice Jewish boy from New York.
Yes, Long Island.
Same. All right.
Really? Where?
Yeah. I grew up in the city.
All right, save it.
Fuck
Here we
you.
go. What?
Fuck you.
There you go, Zuckerman.
It's going to be Zuckerman's hour.
What?
It'll be my hour. It's called Seldom Right But Never in Doubt, starring Paul Zuckerman.
Tell you what, you take this hour, Zuckerman. I'm going to give it to you
From the top, okay?
No, not today. I'm just.
I could not do your job.
I'm going to give you the whole show.
This is his way of punishing me.
No, this isn't punishing. This will get me out of my contractual obligation, so I can go somewhere where the grass is a little greener.
Remember, with air conditioning.
With air conditioning. Hi, everybody. It's Spike's Car Radio. You've been listening to our cold open there, where I have just quit the show. It's now going to be Zuckerman's hour. I'm moving to a place with air conditioning.
It's going to be Schulman and Zuckerman.
Yes, and my show's called Seldom Right But Never in Doubt. I share all sorts of things that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Nev Schulman is sitting in with us. If you don't know Nev, you probably know his show, Catfish, which just wrapped up season 7 on MTV, headed into season 8 at the end of March, possibly. He's got something new on Facebook Watch. Go ahead and plug that right now.
Yeah, my wife and I have a really fun relationship talk show, basically, where we field questions on all sorts of topics and issues having to do with being in a relationship.
Well, you should have Zuckerman on that show because he really is one of the wisest relationship counsels I know. Like, what subjects? And then Zuckerman, he can weigh in on.
Well, we just recently did an episode about breakup etiquette.
Breakup etiquette, Zuckerman. What do you think? What
you
is
just
the
run out the door.
Just run out.
fuck you. And you,
Right.
you
Because you don't pay for the sex, you pay them to leave.
Right, or
Isn't
else
right.
you figure, breaking up 101 is figure out what to blame the other person about and make it all their fault.
That's not what you really do.
No, but that's how you start in life.
Right. We talk about deal breakers.
What do you mean? Deal breakers in relationships?
Basically, what are your no-flies sort of
What are some
issues?
of the... Give me the top 3
See,
deal
Schulman
breakers.
He's well-adjusted. You and I are not.
He's pretending to be.
No. He automatically understands there's something called balls and walls. This is what he's talking about, balls and walls, which I never knew about until I was in my
I don't know
50s.
what you're talking about right now.
A person has to have a person needs to be able to say who they are, what makes them happy, and then have a boundary and stick to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but what are the top 3 deal breakers?
we featured like a study.
Okay.
Obviously, there are some obvious ones, like, if someone's racist or politics is one that comes up a lot.
I think so.
Right.
That would be hard. Would be hard.
But then there's the smaller things, like, does someone clip their toenails in bed?
Right.
Like gross stuff like that.
Do you do that?
I don't know. I'm
but
very tidy. But
I have problems with the way people the sound of them eating, breathing, existing.
Yeah, no, that's true. Also, like fitness level,
Yeah.
right? Some people like need to date someone who cares a lot about their physical fitness. Yeah,
What about people who are not courteous with how the toilet looks?
yeah, well, cleaning your streaks.
Yeah.
You gotta get that brush out.
Right.
That's
Come
an issue
on.
with me and my wife. Sometimes I miss my streaks, and she comes.
Really?
she
Don't you
comes at
find
me.
in relationships that there's one neat person and one messy person?
I think there's always someone.
Yeah,
A little
right.
Nobody's
right.
at the same level.
Right.
The political one is really interesting because it never used to be that way. My parents were always switching back and
You
forth,
could do
Democrat,
that.
Republican.
Right. Now,
it seemed fine.
It's like a battle.
Yeah, forget it.
It's a fist fight. There's no compromise anymore.
Wow. Well, this is good. Zuckerman, you're perfect for this. We were talking just last week, as a matter of fact, with Tom Papa, who has a lot of wife theories and how to keep the wife happy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's his point of view on keeping that relationship working, is keep the wife happy. Just know that you'll never be happy, but you keep her happy.
Right.
Right?
Happy wife. Happy life.
It's not even. It wasn't even that,
wasn't that.
trite. It was just more about don't have this expectation that you should be happy
Right.
or have any sort
Yeah.
of reasonable interactions with
Sure.
this person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No.
Just go in and give up. Give up.
It's my 60% theory. If your day goes right 6 out of 10, you're a fucking winner.
Yeah.
Right. Only in life do we
That's
expect
funny.
to be 10 out of 10.
I know. Well, and my dad actually kind of trained me on this early. He was single for most of my childhood, still is. He has
Good-looking
had
Schulman.
girlfriends. Yeah. Great, very eligible bachelor, by the way. If any women in their 30s to 50s are listening and looking for a handsome fella, but
In
Handsome
his
showman.
70s.
he's in his 60s, 64. Anyway, he said his thing was if you see a girl and you're attracted to her and you want to ask her out, just do it. Because if you ask 10 girls out and 2 say yes, you're busy.
That's Oprah Winfrey's
Right.
theory. That he took that from her.
Well, this was I think this may have been pre.
Come on.
This is just
No,
alleged.
It's very popular Oprah Winfrey advice. Maybe
Specifically
20
about
years
dating?
ago. Yeah.
Oh,
This
really?
is
It
like-
is.
Maybe he did.
That's
He's a
where your
secret
dad
Oprah
got it.
fan? I didn't know.
And-
Maybe
or
it was
he's-
just the 70s. You tried everything in the 70s.
exactly.
No.
Girls.
I've heard that specific rule.
Or
I got to
guys,
know that
probably,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Love a
when
lose.
she said it because I went, oh, really? That's what I'm supposed to do. And I was in college. It was a long time ago.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
yeah, your
I
dad
can't believe my dad just ripped
maybe
off
lifted that
Oprah.
and or is Oprah Winfrey. I like all your shows, and this show sounds great, but I've also heard you're a car guy, right? Have I seen you somewhere on the internet, on YouTube with Porsches? What is
No,
it?
I wish. Oh,
No.
I may have posted a photo with some cars.
Yeah.
I'm friendly with the guy who runs the Beverly Hills Car Club. Have you guys been over
Yeah,
there?
that's right.
Yes.
What's his
Alex
name?
Manos.
Alex
Yes.
Manos.
Yeah.
Yes. Those are all of those very, very inexpensive cars that need to be restored, but always lovely
Well,
choices.
you know what's cool about his shop is that it's everything from total restorations,
Yes.
to very much like daily drivers,
Right.
And like some are very expensive and way out of my price range, and some are like reasonably priced.
It doesn't put you off at all that the Beverly Hills Car Club
It's
is
not
in
in Beverly
downtown
Hills,
LA.
yeah. It did at first when I first went down there.
We're
Yeah.
Beverly Hills adjacent.
I mean, wait, this is in Beverly Hills.
No, they're cars that are meant to be driven in Beverly
But
Hills.
his collection of cars and the
aspirational.
inventory that he sells,
astounding.
I have taken a tour of it. There are lots of beautiful cars that we all collect. It's just this is the one that needs some love, and it's priced accordingly. So
Right.
if you're up for a restoration or a renovation, you can go down there and
That,
maybe
that
find
is my
something
thing.
great.
I love restoring cars.
This fella here he's making a big mistake. He's trying to live within his means. I see this. He's responsible. He's got his
kids
wife.
now.
He's got kids. You have to live beyond your
I know.
means. Stress
That's
theory.
true.
Stress
It's
theory.
true. That was some of the best advice I actually got once from my friend Casey Neistat, who's like a big YouTube vlog guy. He always spends way more than he can afford. Because he says like if you live the life you can afford, you'll never have more. Like you've got to
Right.
push
Push.
yourself and
Yes.
Yes.
create
Yeah.
the debt so that you have to make the income. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
You have to stoke the hungers.
Right,
So
exactly.
what are these cars that you're talking about? What do you
My
what do you
personals?
like?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, so
what-
I try to have unusual cars. Like when I see a car that I haven't seen before, that's usually what attracts me to it. So my first car in college was a '66 Volvo 122.
Awesome.
Yeah, just like this big bubbly round
Yeah.
sedan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure obviously if I'd grown up in the 60s and 70s I would have seen them, but I didn't. So for me it was like I don't see this car on the road ever. What a cool, unique thing. So I got that, and then that kind of sprung me into the world of old Volvo. So then I had a 71 144, which was when they went boxy. Then I went back to the 122 and got the wagon because it's just the Amazon wagon's just so cool.
It's such a great name.
It's
too.
such a great car.
And I always wondered, like, what are these guys doing up in Sweden? Thinking
I know,
about calling
right?
it the Amazon.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And that car was fun too because I was living in New York City. None of the doors locked, and I wouldn't lock them anyway because the last thing I want is someone breaking in to get nothing out of the car.
Right.
So I remember one day it was really cold. I was parked in the East Village for a few nights. Came back because of street cleaning, and I got in my car, and I looked in the rearview mirror and I could see that there was something that I didn't recognize, and I turned around and there was a person sleeping in my car. They had put the back seat down and they were sleeping.
Yes.
And so I graciously asked them to leave, and they did, and I got on with my day.
Awesome.
But
that used to
yeah.
happen to me because I had a Jeep that didn't lock, and it was
Yeah.
always a little adventure.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
the story
Oh,
my
okay.
fans know about is there was a prostitute turning tricks in my Jeep. I was finding used condoms on the floor.
Stop.
It turned
No.
into a Seinfeld episode. Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah, you used to.
I used to write on
Write on
Seinfeld,
Seinfeld?
right? But that it was, as you've experienced, it's very disconcerting to find evidence of someone else, let alone a guy in the back
Right.
of your car.
I actually think it may have been a girl. I don't remember. I didn't get a good look at them. 'Cause
Really?
They were very bundled.
Oh, that's not
but
so
I think
bad.
it was a girl, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that just happened in Santa Monica to my neighbors.
Oh yeah, in their house.
They were. She
Oh.
sent this woman I know sent the kids out to the car, and there was a man in the back of it resting.
Well, all right.
Tired.
Yeah, right.
Don't mind me.
And a moment
catching my breath.
later,
Warming
the
seats.
police were there,
Right.
and a guy was tackled. And
Oh no, really?
Yeah,
It went south.
We have a pretty big homeless problem
Of course.
developing in Santa Monica
How
and
about just in
Brentwood right
LA?
now. What's that?
The whole of L.A.,
Right.
the whole everywhere.
It is in L.A., but lately it's hit Santa Monica and Brentwood in the residential areas, so we're all kind of dealing with that. So, it was kind of upsetting. The guy, this woman
Right,
called the
just
police.
needs a place to
The guy got tackled, and then
Right.
she's like, no, it's
Right.
okay. Just get him out of the car.
Right.
And then, it's a
Don't
mess.
clobber him.
Right. Yeah.
But there are so many people these days.
Don't scratch the car.
How many of you guys are leaving your keys in the car? Do you do this where, you got the push button starter?
Right.
And I do the same thing. It's because of New York. I don't lock my cars. I just let, I'm
don't
going to
like
leave it
to either.
open.
Right.
You can come through and
Right.
take whatever you want, but you're not going to find anything. Right.
I'd rather they just open the door and not find
I
anything than
never
smash
lock
the
a
window
car.
and not find anything.
Right.
Right.
And do you leave your keys in the car?
Well, okay. I do not use one of those key thingies. Like,
These cars
so
aren't
on the
that
Porsche,
fancy.
I make sure that you can take that little nipply
it's
thing.
Porsche. It's Porsche.
Porsche.
But go ahead.
Porsche. You can take the I say Porsche because I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
I will not say it the way they
You shouldn't even
say
really
it.
be driving.
Yeah, I know.
Guess what, my Jewish friend? You say it incorrectly, but continue.
That's all right. You say it like you're German. Porsche.
It's been established. We don't need to have this argument
Again.
But it's a family name.
Okay. So anyway, doesn't matter. So I take that nipple out so that I have to put the key in and out.
Right.
It has to go
In a new Porsche, right?
you
That weird tongue,
Yeah,
that
you
metal
can take
tongue
that.
there.
You can
I
take
don't like
that
that.
pacifier-looking thing out. There's a way to take
Right.
it out. You get rid of that thing. You toss the fucking thing because I'm the
I
kind-
need a key. I need to.
I want
right.
a key that turns the lock.
Also, I can't tell you how many times I've left my car at a valet, walked away with the key because it's in my
Why
pocket.
do
Right.
these people,
And
why
then
do-
I have to run back,
Okay.
and they're annoyed, and I'm annoyed.
Why
and,
did, why did they think
What
this
was
up?
wrong
what
with
was,
the key?
What was wrong with the fucking
Thank you.
key?
I don't know.
I like it.
You do.
Yeah.
You don't like a key?
No.
Why?
In my performance cars, I do like a key. Otherwise, I would rather just have this thing in my pocket or in my briefcase, and I just want to push a button. I
Don't
like
you
that.
like how a key looks like a key, a real key?
It depends on the vehicle. And
Or if you're not going to have a key, but you have the fob, give me a place to put it.
Yes.
Some of these
Okay.
cars, they don't even have a place
Okay,
to
I
put
agree
it.
with you.
Now,
I agree.
let me
That's
stop you
great.
both right there. I
Oh.
just hopped out of the Ferrari Portofino, the new Ferrari, and they have that
They do
spot.
in the middle.
Right.
They
and
do.
it is.
Some of
it's
the
not in
cheaper
the middle.
cars
It's just
actually
off to
have
the
it,
right,
yeah.
and it sits perfectly
Right,
there.
yeah,
and
a
it's a
little
beautiful
cradle.
key, and
Yeah.
it's like a little statue. Yes,
They make it part of the experience as
Right.
opposed
That.
to
Right.
as opposed to what the fuck do
Cup
I do
holder.
with this thing?
Exactly. It uses up one of your cup holders.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, you have to do that, and you
Right,
have to have a
right.
beautiful key. I really liked it, and that was the first time it completed the experience for me. I went, "Oh, this is nice,"
makes
and I
sense.
start,
Right.
and then it's there.
I want to create a company that goes back and makes beautiful keys to go in cars. I want like a key.
I love it.
What do
Yeah.
you mean?
like something from a castle.
Right.
You put it in the fucking car. It starts the car instead of something a block.
But they're radio transmitters. Like we're talking about lots of different things.
But to get back to your original point, I know that there are some car thefts now because people, even if you bring your keys into your house, it's close enough to the car.
They can start the thing.
They can just start it in your driveway and take it.
Yes.
Right.
But this is the category, for me, this is the Range Rover Sport. Like, I would rather have a radio broadcast thing where I can do a bunch of stuff, open the back, close the thing, and then I leave it in there all the time. And if you want to take my car, go ahead.
My partner.
It's a lease. It'll be replaced.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's much easier than me having to find my keys every
I'm an
day.
analog guy. I have a 92 Cherokee,
Okay.
and I just
Wait a second.
I like to be able to reach into my car without having to get on the seat, put my foot on the brake pedal, and push the button to start
Now,
it. You know what I mean?
feel that way about any kind of 911, new or old or performance car. I want to have that experience. I want to pull it out and I want to turn the key. I'm just talking about the boring stuff.
Right. Yeah,
That's
the
all.
newer stuff.
Yeah, the newer stuff. No, even new 911s. I like to turn the key just like Zuckerman
But
is
tell
saying.
me, why do you think they went in this direction where they set you up to fail? Where they set you up to have the object that starts the car, turns the car off, that you need for it, and you can have it separated from the car.
And then when the car is running and you walk away, it honks at you to tell you that you're leaving with the key. It's just like
I like that.
My yacht's
I
partner,
like it, but it's just extra. Like you're saying, they're just setting you up for more inconvenience.
Right. He put it on top of the car, drove off. And then it was gone.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've had it on the windshield and driven off. I've had the key in the car and the Audi Q7 locked, and then I was locked out of my car with the key inside, which I don't understand. I've had all that stuff. But I'll tell you something else I want out of these cars, aside from that little key holder, is now we have Apple CarPlay. What?
A place for your phone.
No, well,
I can't believe there's nowhere to put your phone in these new cars.
That's true.
Why don't we invent that and patent it? We can make zillions.
But there is, in the GT2 RS and the GT3, there's a nice little spot, and you don't play with your phone, and you have Apple CarPlay. What I don't have, but I do have on a BMW 530i Performance, I have a little reminder like, hey, you forgot your phone, idiot. In the BMW. And the Porsche, it never says that. And I
so
go
before you get out,
I walk into my house all the time and I
you,
forget my phone. The BMW would go, hey, disconnect your phone, moron. And then you remember, right?
I hate technology.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Well, technology hates you, Zuckerman.
Yes, everyone hates me.
No, they don't. Everyone loves you.
Yeah, this was a big because you're
a beloved character.
I only owned sort of pre-digital cars until I got a kid, and I was like, okay, I can't drive a kid around in the back of a 92 Cherokee. I mean, I can.
You can.
Yeah, throw the kid in there.
How old is the kid?
My kids now, I have two. One's 2 years old and one's like a month old.
Although those kids, at that age, they don't get hurt. They just bounce.
That's true.
They just bounce around the car like a
throw them in the cargo area in the back.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, you have the perfect size kids for the rear seats of a 911.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So what are you driving now?
So I've got my 92 Cherokee, which is beautiful. It's in like.
Does it have wood grain on the side?
No, it doesn't have the wood grain. It's the
burl. We call that.
It's
burl.
black, right?
Black burl.
But it's pretty cherry. It's only got 65,000 miles on it. My grandma bought it new in '92, and then I bought it from her.
It's got those great puffy seats.
It's got
those
It's
got those
flannel,
locks that click up and down real loud.
Yeah,
right?
clunk clunk. I've replaced the motors on those. Anyway, so that's like my old car that I still have. It's not that old, obviously. Most of my other cars have been much older. Then my wife and I love my father-in-law was a Ford guy. He worked there for 50 years. So we get like a pretty good discount on Ford Lincoln. So
X-Plan.
we got in, the A plan.
The A
A
plan.
plan.
That's even better.
That's the best.
Right.
So we have the Lincoln MKX, which is like a very nice midsize SUV.
Right.
And then for fun, my wife and I wanted to still have a car that we could go out in that doesn't have the car seats in it. I didn't want to get this, but she fell in love with it. So we have the F-Type, the Jaguar.
Oh, it's a great car.
Coupe, yeah.
Yeah.
No backseat. Yeah.
No, I love that. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Is it
That's
the
one of my favorites.
RES?
No, it's just the base.
It makes that
which
great
is plenty.
noise.
I can't believe they make it faster. I mean, that car is plenty fast.
It's one of my favorite cars. I love that car. I don't know why more people don't buy them.
Yeah,
it's really one
I
of
don't
the.
know. I'm always laughing. Like, how is that possibly legal from a sound perspective?
It has the button for the extra sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
just dumps gas into the exhaust and it goes.
It's not. It's tuned the right way, and it
Fun to drive.
it is the first car I think I drove on Car Matchmaker. I went, this is going to get people in trouble. but it's such a controllable amount of power to the rear wheel.
Good size.
And you can bounce around
And
in
the
it.
handling is
It's
just
great
color?
balance.
silver.
Nice.
And I wrapped the roof in black. Well, so just
That
to finish
matches.
that conversation, so the
Yes.
F-Type, which is really fun to drive, and it's really grown on me, has the weirdest key engine thing of all. I still haven't figured out. I've owned the car for 6 months. If I put the car in park, it turns off.
Yes.
Unless I
know what you're talking
tell it
about.
to stay on. It's just like I half the time I
Is
can't
that
tell
the
if the car is
button?
on.
Is that the automatic
no,
cycle?
No, it goes like off. Like it
Off.
automatically just shuts off if it goes.
That
So
would make
this
me
is
insane.
another annoying modern electronic thing.
Right,
You're
and
exactly right,
I
but
can't
that's on
put
everything
the car
now.
into reverse if the door is open. It's just like it's a little too smart.
Getting back to what you were talking about,
Sure.
that's another common. I don't even know how annoyed I was about this, but you're right. When you put it in park, you're saying to the car, "I'm
Off.
stopping." Yeah, go off.
Right.
And that happens a lot. But really, you're just trying to put the brake on, but you want to keep the car running.
Right.
They haven't figured that out
Yeah.
either. That happens in a lot of my cars too.
All right.
I get that one. The other one is a safety device, so you don't
Sure.
with the door open hurt yourself. and
Right.
Fall
No,
out.
I get
right.
it.
Right.
But
How are
it's
you gonna
like,
bail out
you can't-
first?
I don't like that the car doesn't trust me.
To not bail out.
Right. To like be able to handle operating a car.
No. See, so Zuckerman's job, he's an attorney, and he owns a PI firm, and he handles lots of accidents, and he can explain to you right now why that's not the case,
Well,
right?
yes, you really don't want the car to function with the door open because people have a habit of running themselves over and hurting themselves.
Yeah, you can
They
get
do.
hurt.
They do. They can get squeezed. And remember the old Land Rovers and Range Rovers, the first generation, you could put them in neutral. You would think you were in park. And people would...
Well, actually, it's funny. I almost wish I'd had this. I had a 72 Stingray, and the doors on those cars are very long.
Yes.
And so I was in it, and I was pulling it out of my garage, and I left the door ajar. I thought I could clear, but I couldn't, and the door went into the frame of the
Yes.
garage.
Ay,
and
ay, ay.
What color was
luckily,
that car?
That was like a pewter silver, like a really beautiful.
that was nice.
Yeah. That's the sexiest car I think ever made, honestly. I don't know if you could do better than the Stingrays, the 70s Stingrays.
I liked them. I was always a fan as a kid, right? Did you like those, Ferguson?
I like the way they look. Yeah,
Right.
I don't
mean,
like
it's
the
art.
way they
That is
drive.
Of course
no,
not,
no,
but
no.
they're
I'm just
long.
saying
That's
the
the
way
problem.
that car looked, every time I walked up to it, I just would melt. It was
It's
just
the first thing I was ever attracted
Right,
to,
right.
because I'm from
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
And 72 had chrome bumpers front
Right,
and back,
right.
so
Yeah,
you
they're
had
gorgeous.
the look. It
But
was
then you
fantastic.
It had
drive
the
it.
hidden windshield wipers.
Yes.
You don't even see them.
But then you drive it.
Of course.
And then
it
it's
was a
like,
piece of shit.
Right. Yeah. they were
Yeah,
terrible.
and that's the problem I have with that car. That's all. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all good.
I
had
like
a
his
61
aesthetic.
MGA.
He is a car lover.
Yeah.
He loves cars.
He's an East Coaster like us.
Yes,
right?
loves all kinds of cars.
But I want to fast forward him into the Porsche thing.
Well, we'll
just
get
get
him
him
there.
there. He's
We'll get him there.
there.
Well, you know, I'm a little gun shy about Porsche.
Tell me why.
I'm going to own one.
Right.
For sure.
Yes.
But
you
my
crashed
dad,
one.
I crashed one.
That's
my
right.
Dad,
I
so
was
grew
going to get
up-
to this
Oh,
stuff.
you were going to get to it.
Now wait a minute. Yeah, you had a book out a while back where
Yeah.
you talked about this crash.
I did, yeah.
Here's what I have down here. There were car crashes, he writes. I wrecked a 1980 Porsche, fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
A Harley Davidson going too fast on vacation, and a 92 Acura Legend. Well,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Oh,
We don't need
that was
not
a
about
great
that.
car.
Well, let's start with the Porsche. So this is when you were a teenager.
Yeah, I was 17. I grew up with my dad having two cars. Like he really loved. He had an S500, like a 1981 or whatever, like just the boat, beautiful Mercedes, and he had the 80 Porsche Targa SC, 911 SC, and
Wow.
red. Yeah, a few wheels. It was great.
Zuckerman, that's very much
Swinger.
like your car
Yeah.
you're driving
You-
right now.
Pops
No,
was a swinger.
right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then he kept
But
that
you
car.
had that car.
He kept that car at his house in East Hampton, so that was like his summer beach car.
Wow.
Okay,
Oh,
so it
your
had
dad was
low,
the
low
man.
miles. Yeah, he was
All
hot. He was
right.
hot.
That's where he
anyway,
was with Oprah.
And I always grew up waiting for the summer where I could finally drive the Porsche.
Yeah.
Right? Waiting. And finally, when I was 16, he taught me how to drive it. And 17, he was like, okay, you can use it. Just be careful. Just around the town in East Hampton. Anyway, I went out with my best friend in high school. I can't believe he let me take the car, but I did. And coming home at like 3 a.m, I just drifted off to some Bob Dylan on the cassette player. And
How fucked up were you?
I wasn't even fucked up.
Sure.
No, really, because the cops showed up and breathalyzed me. I passed. I
was
wasn't
the
even
weed.
drunk.
That was the olden days. That's
Yeah.
the olden breathalyzer.
I just fell asleep.
10 beers, that's fine. You can do it. It's no
Yeah.
problem. Wow. So you fell asleep at 3 in the morning. What did you hit?
So I drifted across the other side of the road.
Right.
Luckily, there was no one
you're
on
so
the road.
lucky.
I was so lucky.
It's
and
trees,
I had my
right?
friend in the front and another friend in the back.
Oh,
Right.
God.
And everyone's sleeping. And
Including the driver.
Yeah.
It's like the bed in Willy Wonka at the beginning. Everyone's sleeping
They were
in the bed.
The slow pan from backseat to driver. Everybody's like,
And I ended up actually, and thank God it was there, hitting a guardrail over like a little creek, and the front left wheel wedged under the guardrail and ripped out. So when I woke up and I went to hit the brakes, there was nothing because... the brake system was gone. Okay? So luckily I had the wherewithal somehow I put it to neutral and I pulled the e-brake, which gave me enough stopping power to slowly come
that's
to a
good.
stop. Yeah. But that was the end.
Then you go home.
I got out of the car thinking like, we're all okay. The car's probably fine. Let's
Right.
just get home and drive. And then I go walk around the car and I see I don't have a wheel.
Right. And
that
you
was the
know
end
this
of
is
it.
your dad's favorite car. So what happens from that moment forward?
He was, you know what I got to say? He was really cool about it. He just sort of...
Well, wait. You go home.
Cool
You go home at when? 4 in the morning
I
after
think
the cops?
He must have come and picked me up because, I wasn't far from
Did
home.
What did he say? Did he do the right dad thing? I'm just happy you're alive, or did he say we'll talk?
I
When we
think
get
it was
home?
just very quiet, and we never really spoke about it. I think he
Right.
just...
What does he say now about it? Because that's a great car.
He doesn't. We never really talk about it.
It's one of those things.
And you know what?
Therapy time.
The one thing that I will do, and I've been waiting till the right moment, is
get him one.
get him one.
Right.
I got to replace it.
We can tell
we're gonna
Zuckerman
set
will
that
sell
up.
you one from his collection, and
Oh yeah.
Give us the deathbed speech that his father's going to say. He's going to bring him over.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
You suck.
What is that? Who's going to say
fucked
that?
my car up. You suck.
I'll never forget
I don't know. Like Zuckerman, you have a son who drives now.
And he had
you
a
let
big
him drive a
accident.
lot of. You did? When?
About a year and a half ago, he was pulling out.
I thought that was your daughter.
No. My daughter was. Well, that wasn't her fault. She was in an accident. She got hit by someone who went across the double yellows and PCH.
In what kind of car?
She was in her Volkswagen, in her Jetta. And she was okay. It was scary. But my son was pulling out of the driveway on Doom.
Right.
And he looked to his left. He could not see the car approaching because of traffic. He pulled out and he got T-boned hard.
In which car?
In his BMW.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. And
Dell's a great driver.
and-
very cool kid, very reasonable.
Yeah.
Not like us, not like me and Z. We don't know what happened.
And
with
you know
him.
what? And you know what? And,
That's
and-
not his
and
fault.
As you told the
Yeah.
story, I related to him because he called me up and he was. I could think about how you must have, because he called up and he said, "Dad, I got to tell you something. I really fucked up." That's exactly what he said. He said, "I really fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. So fucked up. I didn't see it. I thought it was there. I thought it was clear, and it wasn't. And it's all my fault."
Right.
And what was I going to say?
Right.
At that point,
There's
What was
nothing
the
to
car?
say, Zuckerman. It wasn't a
nothing to
Porsche. It was
say.
an Audi.
New car?
It's like,
it was
it's
a
totally
new-
fine.
It was, but it was, he understood what
Right.
happened.
Yeah.
He wasn't making bullshit excuses. He didn't say it came out of nowhere,
Sure.
which is my least favorite thing I like to hear from people.
yeah.
The car came out of nowhere.
You hear this all the time because you
Yeah.
deal with car
Yeah,
accidents, right?
Yeah, they
And
came
the
out
other
of
thing
nowhere
is
like mushrooms after the rain.
What was
Boom, they're there.
What was the one I was telling you the other day? I'd heard from this person I was working with. She had, I get the truth in chapters. No, what was that little phrase? It was great.
You're right. In installments.
In installments.
In installments.
I get the truth in installments.
Right.
Is
And
that what it is?
That's usually the way it is with
Right.
people.
You get a little bit?
You get a little bit, a little
As
bit
they
more.
trust more.
But if you've been doing this as long as I have, you kind of know. It's like Hollywood. There's 4 original scripts, so you know what people's agendas are, what their lies are. So the kid got in an accident. He wrecked a car. He was very sorry.
That's
He was not happy. He had some shame. He felt humiliated by the whole thing. It all operated the way it
Luckily,
was supposed
no
to.
one was terribly injured.
Well, the good news is we're not talking about it on any sort of broadcast here. So. All right, we'll be right back with more Spike's Car Radio. 60 seconds. That's exactly how long this commercial lasts. You know what else you can do in about a minute? Get an offer with your car from TrueCar. That's right. In the amount of time it takes to floss your teeth, pet your dog, do a few sit-ups, just listen to my voice, you can get a true cash offer. Best of all, you can do it from your smartphone or at home. Just go to TrueCar, simply enter your license plate number, and watch how your car's details pop up. Answer a few questions, and you'll get an accurate true cash offer from local TrueCar certified dealer. It's that easy. After that, you can bring your car in, and they'll check it out with you together, the two of you. You can even hug if you want. You can ask questions, get the answers you need, so there's no surprises, and simply leave your check or trade in your car for a new ride. So when you're ready to experience a new, better way to sell or trade in your car, check out TrueCar today.
You're listening to Spike's Car Radio.
All right, we're back here with Nev Schulman, who's the king of catfish. You know Tom Foreman.
Of course.
Tom Foreman, who also produced Car Matchmaker, show over there. That's right.
I wanted to be on that show.
You did. What happened?
I don't know. You tell me. I got an
That's
MKX,
exactly what I said to Seinfeld
right.
when he asked me about, hey, didn't you do a submission? What happened with that? I go, I don't know. You should tell me. But I got hired the next year. Well, I'll have you on. We have a new thing happening. So, and I'd love to have you on. I don't know why we wouldn't have had you on, other than maybe the network went under, and maybe that's what happened.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we did 3 seasons, and then the show was a great hit, but the network just completely went away.
From one day to the next.
Yeah. I mean, do you worry about that at MTV? Because MTV is also, in this cable world, it's tricky out there right now.
Yeah. I worry. I mean, I'm astounded I'm still making the show. And
right.
I don't, thank God, but whatever energy, spirit world there is.
Just quickly tell everybody what the show is. Do you watch this show? Do you know anything
about
it?
It's one of my
we all know what
shows,
catfishing is.
Right.
We know the whole deal.
There are a lot of people every day who are getting into relationships on the internet with people who they don't know.
Right.
I mean, which is normal and oftentimes lovely, but for better or worse, in my case, better, a lot of people make fake profiles online to either just explore a new identity or to enact revenge on a scorned lover or something. But for whatever reason, they create these fake profiles. They start these friendships that often then spill over into relationships and can last for months or years without ever having met face to face. And so people reach out to me in an effort to have them help, an effort for me to help them meet the person they've been talking to and are in love with. Right. And oftentimes it's not who they expect.
Wow. No, that's fun.
Yeah.
Do you ever shoot stuff that you can't air where you go, you know what we found is too ugly and too horrible?
No.
Or someone says, you know what, I'm not going to sign a release. I'm not going to.
We've had the one episode, sort of in the vault that I don't think, unfortunately, will ever air because they already. It's such an annoying insurance thing.
Right.
But
No,
because we couldn't air it initially, they made the claim, the insurance paid us for it, so now we can't air it because then that would be like double down. That'd be like insurance fraud, I guess.
Yes.
Well,
anyway, it was.
We'll buy it.
Yeah, that's what I said, right? Yeah, we should auction it off.
Ackerman could get that. He'll figure this out in 2 minutes.
It was a great one about this really sweet kid from actually outside of Boston who got catfished, but whatever, it doesn't even matter. He then sometime after, but before it aired, was arrested for I think I don't know if it happened. It's alleged public masturbation.
Right.
And so
don't suck him in.
Why am I looking at you, Ferriston?
What?
Why am I looking at you?
For no reason.
So I guess the psych department at MTV.
I know the way your brain works. I know exactly who you're thinking of.
So we figured it'd probably be better for everybody not to air that one.
Yes. Because he got in trouble outside of the show. That happens. That's out of your control.
His mental health was compromised. And
yeah.
So,
because nobody's ever masturbated in public unless they're mentally ill.
Right.
How is that kid's stand-up comedy career? Doing stand-up? I heard he did a set in New York the other day.
It was actually Louis C.K.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. But
so
is that exactly what you were thinking?
That's exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know Louis. He's a friend
Did you
of mine.
want to be in broadcasting? Did you go to school for broadcasting?
No, never an ambition.
So it was accidental.
Very much an accident.
Don't make him tell the catfish
I'm
origin
not
story. His wife is out there and she doesn't want to hear it again.
That's the kernel of resentment that's going to grow into a full-grown pearl. Yeah. That's where it starts.
Oh, boy. Yeah. This is so much fun, you guys. I'm having a good time here. Do you know anything about M&Ms?
The candy?
Yeah, M&M, peanut M&Ms.
What would I know more than just
do you like them? Do you enjoy them? Do you count on them? Zuckerman and I, for a long time, we're not really big drinkers or smokers or anything.
What's your M&M of choice?
The peanut M&M.
Peanut.
But when times are tough,
sure,
like when maybe the world's getting you down, you're watching the news, or maybe there's something personal, or you're just having a bad day, we count on the peanut M&M.
Small comforts.
Yeah, comforts at night.
That's my go-to.
A couple of good hours of content and the peanut M&Ms. And we've noticed lately there are a lot of misshapen, horrible. What do you call them? They're
mutants.
Bulbous or
Yes,
Just
what we've discovered here is that M&Ms are no longer consistent. There has been a rapid decline in the quality and consistency of the peanut M&M, and we find this to be very disturbing to our psychology.
Right, because this again is our glass of wine, our cigar, something we count on. Now, Zuckerman, I'm sure you're the same as me. In the last 2 weeks, we've been getting pictures of incredibly misshapen M&Ms from around the world, except London, which seems to have perfect peanut M&Ms. And we, on the show, reached out to the PR for M&Ms, nice. And they did not return our phone call. Huh. And I thought I would just give that woman's name on the pod. Well, can I do that? Can I, since it's a PR company contact, I can let the listeners know? Because I'd like to engage the listeners now in calling this woman and getting an answer. Yeah, we had one listener who said he was going to go to the place in New Jersey and maybe get an answer.
You mean?
Yeah.
Stand outside the bar.
Yeah, he said he was going to knock on the door and try to get an explanation.
Screws, bloody screws.
Anyway,
well, maybe M&M's is trying to be more inclusive now with their M&M's.
No, it seems like they're avoiding us. And M&M folks, if you're listening, we're lovers of the peanut M&Ms, and we're trying to get an explanation and or maybe get you to increase the quality and consistency for very good reasons.
But see, the problem is what you're doing is working against you, because by generating press and conversation around the misshapen M&Ms,
yes,
you're only encouraging them to continue to make those.
Interesting concept.
Maybe, but at this point, we're too deep
in
it.
I'm going to confess something to you, Ferguson. I have a second favorite M&M.
What's that?
The pretzel ones.
Pretzel. What is a pretzel M&M?
It's just pretzel filled.
Instead of peanut.
Have you guys tried the new chocolate bars with M&Ms in them?
No.
I haven't tried those yet.
Disturbing.
Hershey's,
Disturbing.
Yeah.
To me, I can't now get past a peanut M&M until they get that right. After they fix that and make it perfect, then maybe I'll try it.
It even bothers me if the M isn't fully printed on the
Really? So I'm going to have to send you pictures of my collection. I have some very, very deranged and misshapen M&Ms. Some without candy and the M printed onto the chocolate itself.
Yeah.
Whoa, no candy shell?
No candy shell.
Kind of the double tumor peanut M&M.
Wow.
I got one the other day that was just a half-eaten peanut with no chocolate
that was
or shell. All right,
rats and mice.
Listeners, do you want to help? Do you want to help us get to the bottom of this M&M mystery? And I encourage you to be very polite. But would you call Kimberly Schrader West, whose job it is to field these questions about M&Ms, and she's at
Kim West.
This is their corporate call-in number, and I'm going to give it out. Well, it's 973. 691-3536, 973-691-3536. You can also email Kimberly at kimberly.west@EFFEM.com. What is that? FM. Huh. Kimberly West at FM.com, and ask her to please return our phone call here on Spike's Car Radio, and or send us one of those giant 60-ounce bags of peanut M&Ms for promoting your crap. That's all I wanted to say about that, Zuckerman. I wanted to get some movement here because I feel like we've stalled now in trying to resolve this issue. Do you understand?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Let's get back to Nev here. Nev.
You know, it's been nice. The last 3 days, my wife and I were working in the Valley, and so commuting from Laurel Canyon, which is not obviously very far, into Studio City, and at the same exact time, and each day, and these were rainy days, each day I passed the same guy driving what I assume was like a early 60s yellow Porsche.
Really?
Yeah. In the rain, like committed to his car as a commuter. And
where was it? Which road?
Laurel Canyon.
Oh, that's not. I was going to say it's not Leno because he's coming down he's coming down the other one.
Right. I just thought that was cool.
For years, I did the commute in Malibu down PCH, and I would always leave at the same time. And it turned out I actually made several friends on the commute from being into seeing the same guy in the same car, and hey, how you doing? Like pull it over, talking. That actually
people get used to the cars. That was our old racing canyon when we were riding Seinfeld. We all lived on this side on the hill, and then in the morning we'd all race over Laurel Canyon in various cars. I had a '98 C2S Porsche that for some reason coming home late one night in the rain, I thought I had a traction control system that I needed to test. So I took it into a turn on a slippery road to just test that all-wheel drive that it was not all-wheel drive and that traction control. And I spun that thing. It was a brand new car. 2 days. No, I spun around and then ended up straight and went, God damn, I almost just destroyed this car.
Yeah.
I almost just lost it there. It's a dangerous little road when it's wet. And it's got a lot of weight in the back, too. So once it goes, you can't get it back. I didn't get it back. I just spun. Yeah. Neve, this Harley-Davidson crash.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't get sleepy on that one, did you?
Oh,
You've got an endless
midday.
amount of crashes. I just want to hear about all your teenage crashes.
Yeah.
What is this now?
Been a big motorcycle guy for a long time, too. Was visiting with my family, some family friends in New Orleans.
Right.
And if you've been down there, you'd know a lot of the roads are sort of propped up. There's
Built up, yeah,
they're
for
built
the water.
up, right, for flooding. So on either side of the road, it goes down a couple feet, and then it levels out into whatever the surrounding terrain is. And I was trying to keep up with my dad and his friend, who were much more experienced riders. And we went into this left turn, and I'd never been on a big Harley before with the floorboards.
Right.
Footboards, whatever you call it. I think of floorboards or whatever. And as I leaned left, the left footboard started to scrape, which scared me.
Yeah,
because I was used to riding, not bikes like that. And so I sort of, what I thought was the best possible way of handling it was like, okay, I can't turn at this speed, so I'll slow down, which made me sort of straighten up a little bit. And I'll just go down this little embankment into this person's front yard, and I'll reset, and I'll come back to the road. It might have worked, except it being New Orleans and potentially having been rainy lately. The second that bike hit the grass, it just sunk into the grass and bucked me right off over the front.
Wow.
And
That's a weird
I
one.
did a somersault, sat up, thought I was fine, looked back, the bike was there but looked okay. And I went to stand up, and I crumbled over because my leg was broken.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had to get actually airlifted. I don't know if I had to, but when you break your leg on a motorcycle, they assume the worst.
Why?
So
Why?
Because we were kind of far.
No, I'm just saying, Zuckerman. Why doesn't the leg hurt when it breaks initially?
Because he was in shock.
Adrenaline.
He's
Yeah,
in shock and adrenaline. Yeah, he had no clue.
Right.
I had no clue. It took a couple minutes for me to feel it,
That's scary.
but I was all right.
You didn't feel it until you realized it,
Right,
and then
right,
once you realized
right,
it
yeah.
and you focused your attention, then you
exactly.
flipped out and felt pain.
Yeah.
Now you did do some good in one of these crashes, the Acura Legend that you took out.
Oh, I like those
I
cars.
love those.
I love those cars.
Oh, I'm joking.
That was
I'm
one of the-
joking.
that was a
What
fun
happened?
car.
What happened with this?
Oh, that's
car?
not. I mean, I was driving home from college with my girlfriend. It was the end of the semester, so the car was full.
Right.
All of our stuff. And that's like a low car.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some traffic in front of me. The lady
Came out of
directly
nowhere.
in front
Came
of
out
me.
of nowhere.
She stopped way too fast. She stopped short.
Stop.
Out of nowhere.
Out of
And,
nowhere.
and I just rear-ended her, but the front of those cars are already low.
Yep.
and-
So you went on your dove.
Oh yeah, and the lights
just
and the
peeled it
radiator,
up.
yeah, peeled it up. And
Did you get hurt?
No. I mean, it was a low speed accident.
Did you get punched by the airbag?
no
airbags
No
there.
airbag.
There
No
you
air-
go.
So tell me, when is the last time you had an accident? How many years have you gone without an accident?
Oh boy.
Well, does that include like even minor scrapes?
Okay, things that are not your fault. Forget things that are not your fault. How long have you not been in
Well,
an
like
accident?
last year, I was just pulling over in New York City to like pick something up at a store, and I was humiliated. I'm still embarrassed even saying it, but like I just misjudged how much room I had, and I like scraped the front fender of the car with my back fender.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an
That's a
accident.
pretty
But
easy
besides
That's
that,
right,
but
okay.
besides that,
No, major accidents. It's been a long time. I haven't had a speeding ticket. I grew up and I like aged out of my reckless.
Yeah, me
Yes.
too. I'm on a good run
I
now
think
too,
it's gotta have been at least
Zuckerman.
5
What
or
about
6
you're
years.
not? You've wrecked a couple of
Griffin, with you all the time,
356s.
you're fucking reckless all the time.
No, I'm saying I'm on a good run of not crashing.
Oh, that's true.
And
I don't think I've ever seen-
drive,
wait.
I obey the rules of
I
the
have
road, Zuckerman.
never-
I don't even know what you're talking about by
Yeah,
saying
right,
something
okay.
like that.
I'm going to get a GoPro on my
He's
head.
been crushed in 356s.
I've actually had two bad accidents
Yeah.
that were not my fault in 356.
They came out of nowhere, Spike.
They came out of nowhere.
They hit me with a van full of cats.
Well, I had a wake-up call when I was in college. I was driving home from school once. I'd borrowed my parents' car because I went to school close to the city, and they had the Audi A6, the 4.2, when that was like the new
Yes,
big.
the hot
That
one.
was fast. That was a
hot.
fast
Right,
car.
right.
And I was 20 or something. I was stupid. I shouldn't have been driving it. And I was driving home from school into the city. It was a Friday night. And a bunch of friends saw I was going in, and they were like, "Oh, can we get a ride? Can we get a ride?" So I was like, "Sure." And they were already walking. They had planned to take the train, so they were already walking to the train station. They had their beer cans, and they were like ready for the booze cruise into the city. So they all pile in. I got 2 people in the front seat, 4 people in the back, and all with open bottles of beer. Okay,
Hey.
and I'm coming down the West Side Highway, probably doing 75, 80, a little bit of weaving. And I get off at my exit on 79th Street, and the lights come on behind me, and it's an undercover car. So who knows how long he's been following me, right? And he pulls me over, and right away he says, "Get out of the car," which is never good. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got too many people in the car, open alcohol containers, okay? And I don't even know if I should be admitting this, but it was so long ago. The night before, I'd gone out with my friend. We were in a pool league. And we'd gone to a bar. We'd played a pickup game of pool, and the guys we'd beat a couple times in a row said to us, "We don't have enough money to pay you. Can I give you this little bag of cocaine?" And I'd never done cocaine, so I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." So I had this unused, unopened like little bag of cocaine in my pocket from the night before. Okay,
Look at how you've activated Zuckerman. Look at his face.
And
He's
I'm
so
thinking,
happy
like,
right now.
This is it. This is the end of my life.
You're done,
my
right?
life is
That's
over.
it.
And but I had noticed when the cops got out of their car, they had the high boots on. They had the motorcycle like highway patrol boots on, which is unusual.
Yeah.
And
The jack boots.
Some god or whoever was looking down on me because the cop looks at the plate on the car. It's my dad's car. And my stepdad, he is a lawyer. He was a lawyer. And he actually set up the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, which he connected with the New York State DMV so that you could take the safety course and get your driver's license to encourage safer motorcycling for people. And so we had the special novelty American Motorcycle Association license plates because he's a big motorcycle guy. And those guys, I now know, were actual motorcycle cops, but they were in a car because it was whatever. And he looks at the plates and he says, "What's with the plates?" And I said, "Oh, we're a big motorcycle family. My dad set up the New York Safety Foundation. I work at BMW Motorcycles." And he sort of, so he looked at me, he looked in the car. He didn't go too close to the car, thankfully. And he says, "Look, if I start writing you a ticket, you're going to lose your license and you're going to go to jail. So I'm going to let you go on this.
Wow.
But stop driving like an idiot."
Yeah.
You know,
And that was it. That was like the wake. That was like,
he's such a good guy. I love this guy because he's smart. He's had all the advantages in life, and he still does some stupid shit. It's so wonderful.
Like
it's
us.
charming.
He
Yes.
reminds
Yes.
of us.
Wait, so I was so freaked out. I flushed the cocaine. I didn't even do it.
course.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get it all.
Yes,
Yeah,
finally,
gotta.
a smart
Yeah,
decision.
right. Yeah, that
Before
was-
you
that-
walk onto an
right,
airplane with
exactly,
it by
yeah.
mistake. Anyways, Neve, this has been fun. It's been fun having you here, man.
Thanks so much.
You want to catch up with Neve? He's got a variety of shows. He's got We Need to Talk on Facebook. Watch. That doing okay for you?
Yeah, it's doing great.
Yeah, they get a lot of viewership over there, and of course, MTV's Catfish. New season's coming up soon. Very nice to meet you, man. Come
so
back
much.
anytime.
Fun.
Zuckerman, you got anything to say before we go?
Just drive safe. And if you don't, call Zuckerman.
Okay, good. Can I get your
him.
card?
Yeah.
Wait, give everybody the Instagram feed for your firm.
Okay,
because you
well,
need
it's-
followers there.
Well, we're Carpenter, Zuckerman, and Rowley. We're also jury trial
You gotta say that
lawyers.
slower.
Carpenter, Zuckerman, and Rowley.
There you
Oh
go.
my God, that's all one handle on Instagram?
C-Z-R.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can find us
They're
on...
still finding their voice.
Right.
You know, come on, we're lawyers. We don't know better.
I saw. Well, you posted a big award this morning, right?
Yes.
$1.2 million
Yes,
for
we
that
did. We had a-
Guatemalan family.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
I
they
think.
and he deserved it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Guatemalan or was I right? No.
Yeah, south of the border.
Okay,
It
got
doesn't
it.
matter.
Yeah.
He got hurt, his brain got hurt, and he got the money he deserved, and it took a long time. But
Yeah,
we did it.
Yeah, there
All
you
right.
go. So
Yeah.
he's the man. And you can follow me on Instagram. Is pretty much where I'm at. I just like
And
that.
what's your handle there?
They know me as Spike First. It's
Spike.
Yeah. See, no one will be able to spell the last name. They'll figure it out. You'll all figure it out. And we'll see you next week on Spike's Car Radio.
Let's go make some money.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio. Download new episodes every Wednesday on the Podcast One app or subscribe now at Apple Podcasts or PodcastOne.com.
Now on Podcast One.
Could this be a serial killer? You never think it could happen in a community like this.
Cold Case Files, Season 4.
The case would take several twists and turns.
I mean, you're kind of, in essence, looking for a needle in a haystack.
Based on the hit A&E television program.
Now it starts to fit.
The discovery will seal the fate of a serial killer.
So I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
She just screams and pleads for her life.
Get new episodes of Cold Case Files every Tuesday on Podcast One.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Ever tried reading while jogging, cooking, or even juggling flaming torches? Yeah, it doesn't end well. But with audiobooks.com, you can conquer books without the circus act. Dive into over 450,000 titles, including more than 10,000 free ones. Get hooked on a bestseller, find your next obsession, or finally read that classic you've been avoiding since high school. And here's the inside scoop. Sign up today for a free 30-day trial and snag your first 3 audiobooks on the house. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.